Hey everyone, welcome back. Or if you're new here, I'm Al. I go by Dapper Chef on Poshmark and eBay. I'm a full-time foodie, part-time reseller. So today I went to a Goodwill and a Salvation Army. Average COGS was about $6, give or take. I was at one store for, I want to say it was like 4 hours. The other location was just like an hour. A lot of the stuff was my usual 25 or 50% off, minus my Goodwill stuff. Goodwill stuff was full price, but I did have a 25% off coupon, so keep that in mind. Let's get started. First, we'll just do the stuff I got from Goodwill. First guy, $6.99. Just a nice little leather crossbody saddle style messenger fold over bag from Amy Kestenberg with a nice leopard lining. I know her stuff is not as popular, but I still sell it rather decently. Next one, $6.99. This I got because it felt like nice quality leather. Only thing I don't know is I cannot find much information about this brand. So the only real wear is someone cut off the leather straps to hold it together for the outside, but maybe it's called Orderano, or maybe look it up. It said it is unique leather things, and then the interior tag has genuine leather, handmade in Lithuania. So this is from my Goodwill. So a little fact about my area, because I know some people have asked like where I'm from. I'm in the south suburbs of Chicago. In my town itself, there's a huge, I want to say, good big bulk of our population is Polish or Lithuanian. So I find a lot of these kind of Polish and Lithuanian brands. But this is a very good quality leather, very well made. So based just on style alone, hopefully it should sell. If I can't find much comps for this, maybe I'll try this at a buy sell trade. Usually they come buy my leather goods. Next guy was $5.99. This I grabbed because it felt really nice. What made me want to look it up was not only because it felt nice, but the style, how it opens, as well as the buttons. It kind of gave me like Fry vibes, like distressed leather. So opening it up, the brand is that one, and it has really nice quality as far as like lining. And the brand is called Old Trend Modern Vintage. So that was really kind of a cool find. It has a little key leash. I think people have this listed as like a messenger, which I can kind of see that would be perfect for travel or as like a flight bag. And if you know me, you know I love my Disney, so these were a no-brainer pickup. These were $6.99. So they're Disney for Native collab. They're just a bunch of Mickey print, kind of very 90s inspired. They're men's 7, women's 9. I know, I don't know. I haven't found Native in a long time, but the 2 pairs I have had have sold quickly, so maybe if someone's going to the parks at all, they'll block them. Next guy, $6.99. These I'm torn about if I want to sell them myself or just consign them. They're kind of a cool style, perfect for Halloween. They're these kind of like pointed toe, little like witchy, tassel-y boots. They're two-tone suede, but they're the old. I think they're an older label. That's kind of why I'm debating about keep selling them or sending them in. But they're Salvatore Ferragamo, size 9. They're in really great shape otherwise. But with them being like a super narrow sizing, I think I'm just going to consign these. Usually the narrow sizes don't do well for me personally. $5.99. This is a good bolo. So this I knew what it was just based on the back stitching. And they're kind of known for their t-shirts with their stripes. So with this, I can use a couple different style tags: nautical, Parisian, painter's stripe almost. And what was the other? Nautical, coastal, and Parisian. But the brand is Alex Mill, size medium. They do make a lot of like men's and women's stuff. Both pieces usually sell fast for me. This one obviously is a women's. It's kind of like a little boxier fit. Next one, $9.99. This I got based on material and this kind of is a good men's bolo. I think they make only men's. Don't quote me on this. But, these kind of pieces do sell really good for me. I usually, if I'm doing men's stuff, it usually has to be a good material or style, or it has to be like some sort of cool thing for it. But the brand is Billy Reed, size large, and it's 100% linen. If you're retailing that, it's really high. Resale, you're lucky maybe about $25-$30. Next guy. So I don't know. My Goodwill, they've been starting instead of charging separate, started charging it as sets. Now they price out everything as separates. But I think the guy didn't see the bottoms had a tag on it because they're on a hanger together. Usually, if you ask a certain workers, I've noticed they'll reprice everything for you as a set price. So he only rung this up as $3.99 instead of the $4.99 for the bottom, $3.99 for the top. You might be able to tell what this is just based on the print. These sell super fast for me. These are just some adult Hannah Anderson, size medium, 100% organic cotton. Usually the Hannah Anderson adult pajamas sell super fast, especially right now. People are going to start buying their stuff for their Christmas pictures. Next piece, probably one piece I'm going to consign, send off to the Real. This originally was $6.99. But it is Roberto Cavalli, but it's a subline of his, so just Cavalli. So with him, I noticed there's different tiers. There's Cavalli Class, which is kind of like the lowest end. Just Cavalli was sold more in department stores. And then mainline Roberto Cavalli was sold at, obviously, the mainline stores. This one is really nothing special about the material. It's just a poly cotton blend. But I did kind of like how it has that little mesh panel on the placket. So if you don't know if you want a little fun fact about men's shirts, this thing here is called the placket. Then the collars. So there is two different style collars. This would be called, I believe, a French collar. And then if you ever see the collars that have no buttons on them, but they have the holes, I think those are called English collars because they're meant to be worn with a cufflinks. Next guy, $6.99. This I got based on style, and the brand is good sometimes. Sometimes this is a Free People, Anthropology, or Urban brand. This one is kind of a good bolo. It's very underrated. They don't sell like crazy amount, but they do limited releases. So remember this logo. So the brand is called Thread. So whenever you're searching this brand up, you always want to search it as Thread wallets. Because if you look it up just as Thread, you usually get Universal Thread from Target. And this one, I forgot what the name of this bag is, but I've picked this up many times in different prints, and they usually sell relatively fast for me. They're kind of known as like a convertible bag, so you wear it as a crossbody, belt bags, sling bag, whatnot. Last two things from Goodwill. This was $11.99, but the only reason I got this was because it was my first time finding the brand. I know they're not going to sell for big money, but I can at least cross this brand off my list. So all I saw was this. So it was a green label, made in California, and the brand is Green Dragon, which I remember someone talking about them, saying that they're a good bolo. So I got these just to try them out. I think these are like the shield leggings or pull-on trouser pants. So size small, rayon nylon spandex blend. So Green Dragon again. It's just green on green, so it's a little harder to read. And then this one, $8.49. You probably know what it is just based on the print and the colorway. This is Lily Pulitzer, size medium. So I noticed recently now my Goodwill has, they used to have the old tags. They switched to this new tag. What's nice now is it tells you when it was put out. So this item was put out today. I think I have a couple items that were here for a while. But my Goodwills don't do colored like half off days or sale days anymore. The only thing they do now is random email specials and coupons, as well as points. So if you use your points, usually like I think now it's like $1 1 point or something. So I had 25% off, plus I think there was like $15 in points I used. So that kind of justified me spending the $10 and the $11 on the other thing. So that was all my Goodwill. Now a little side note before we tackle the big bag of Salvation Army. Salvation Army really hit good for me today. This location is kind of off in the outskirts by the airport. And I don't know where they get their inventory from as far as donations, but they usually get a lot of good mixed of brands. I've noticed, I don't know if it's just me when I time it, but there's been a lot of stuff that had the real tags already on there. So it was either rejects or just stuff that from when the original location closed down and they're still processing it. So there's a little tidbit for that. And my interlude into this was just because I'm going to be doing send off some stuff to the Real. I know a lot of people are kind of not, I don't say not the best fan of it. They're not, it's not everyone's platform that they like to send designer into. I personally like it. I know I don't make a bigger profit off stuff I sell than if I were to sell it myself. But for me, it's more about the stability as well as the security of they photograph it, they authenticate it, they store it, and they handle all the shipping and returns. So I have a really good rep. I think it all depends on who your rep is. Some reps I've had in the past were not as good. My previous 3 rep, or whatever they call the client managers, have been really phenomenal about getting back to me about items, telling me when to send stuff in, promos, and stuff like that. So on that note, I'm thinking about maybe if would you guys be interested in doing, watching me do how I consign with them? Or watch me do a update and consignment with sending stuff into them and seeing what they do and what the payouts are? Because I know I just had a big payout last month. They paid me out about I think $400 for stuff that was just stale inventory. So let me know what you guys think about that. So we'll get into my Salvation Army now. First guy, this is probably going to be a personal item. It was only $4.99. You all know, if you guys watch my channel, you already know why I'm keeping this. Just this Walt Disney World hoodie. I think this is from the 50th, if I remember correctly, the anniversary. It's this nice flocked velvet trim. This is a good Disney logo to look for. So this is the Disney Parks logo. So this would be like the ones that sold at the World of Disney store. So there's this logo. This is a good one to look for, as well as the other one will say Disney Parks. Those I say are my top 2 nicer ones, minus the vintage Disney. But not too bad. $4.99. You figure this is about $60 at the store. All right, now let's get started. I must forewarn you, there is quite a lot of good stuff in here. I might sound like a broken horse, so I do apologize. So from here, a lot of this stuff was there. We'll say not that I can never speak. A lot of this stuff was either 50 or 25% off because I got a lot of the colored tags. So my Salvation Armies do. One tag is 25% off. Another one is 50% off. And then if you go on Saturdays, the 50% off tag is 75%, which it's usually always picked over. So I try to go at least the Friday, the day before. So we'll say a lot of this stuff was 30% off, just to kind of go in between. First guy, these used to be a really good brand for me. So I gotta re-look this up. Ooh. I know I sold them on the Real. They did really good. These nice navy leather wedge sneakers. And the brand is Baldini or Baldini. These originally were $14. 38.5. So Baldini Trend, made in Italy. Might not be able to see it. So nice navy color. I know comps, they're all over the place. They range from, I've seen some for $20 up to $200. I know retail on those was about $5.98, which is crazy. Next guy, sadly I wish were my size. They're just a half size too big. But these style New Balance have been selling really fast for me. I don't know what it is, if it's something about more like the Y2K era people or something. But they're New Balance. And if you're ever looking up New Balance, the first thing that you always want to look at is down here. The model number is usually on the tongue. So these are the 460 V2 Tech Rides. And there's different tiers. I know there's like the 237, the 327. And then one thing to note is if you find some certain ones, if you see the one that's in here that has like intelligent choice, that's usually like a higher end designer collab with them. And then I've noticed also what helps selling these guys is, or same with other like Nike shoes and stuff, if you see like special wording like here that says like support area and then flex zone, just put those kind of things in your description. Usually those people search certain things out for it, I believe. Unless that's just me, I just lucked out. Next guy, $5.99. Again, this is not your typical style, at least for what I pick up. I don't pick this brand up as much. But every time I picked up this exact tag, as well as style from this brand, they have sold super fast. So, which I think this trend bag is still popular. It's kind of like that mini Jim Duffel style quilted. So $5.99. You can probably tell what brand this actually is. So this one is Vintage Vera Bradley. So this is the label I like to look for. Usually says Vera Bradley down here, and then made in Indiana. So this one is just 100% cotton. What's nice about the older pieces is they are machine washable. So I just got to figure out the print on this. Print name. I know print name makes a difference for selling them. Okay, this piece is probably my favorite piece I've found in a long time. This has been on my BOLO list to find as far as the mainline brand. Do you want to go with this first, or I'll go with this in a couple pieces, then we'll get to this guy. Next guy, $4.99. This guy I grabbed it at first because I liked the print. I thought it was going to be one brand, but I thought it was going to be like a cheaper, gimmicky, like Kohl's or Target or Anthropologie brand in a sense. But this is my first time finding something that's not a dress in this brand. I found a hat recently, but this is Roller Rabbit. Size extra small. Now let me know what you guys, if anyone's familiar with Roller Rabbit. I have seen the tag listed as Roberta Rabbit or Roberta Roller Rabbit. Now I've seen Roller Rabbit. Does that mean it just depends on where it was sold at? Because I know Alice and Olivia, for example, there's different color labels dictate where certain pieces were sold through. So I'm curious to see if that's kind of the same for this. Next guy, $6.99. We'll say this is a good Bolo brand. This is the first time I found this. So what made me grab this is it came on the same rack as the next piece I'm about to show you. And this and that piece had a real tag on it, so I know they were authentic. But this I got based for that. Not only that, but based on style. So these are these nicer, kind of minimalist, quiet luxury joggers. But I liked how they weren't like cuff joggers in a sense. They had a little like longer length stretch. And the brand is Raffaello Rossi. Rossi. What made me pick them up was that, and they had the style name in there, so they're the candies. They're size 36, made in Romania. Original, I think retail I saw on these was about $265. Currently, they're going for, still on their site. Comp-wise, you're looking maybe like 60 to 90, so I'm going to see how these do. If they don't do well for me, again, we'll probably consign them to see either Real or Clothes Mentor. Next one, $6.99. I know this was probably one of the half-off colors, otherwise they're not spending more than $3 on this. I got this just based on style, color, the scoop neck, the neck trend the style that's very popular right now for women. It's this nice pink color. It's kind of like a textured fabric, and it's a newer tag. So it's by Anthropologie, size small. Next guy, $4.99. Before I show you the brand, I'll let you take a guess who you think this is. Which this brand, this surprised me who it was because I was not expecting them to make this kind of piece. But at the same time, I kind of was. So floral in the back, leopard in the print. So the brand was Johnny Was, extra large. I know Johnny Was, the perfect pieces that you want to sell are the embroidered floral pieces, but maybe for fall, someone wants more leopard, and since I know leopard and cheetah is making a comeback again, I'm kind of like the mix match media pattern florals in the back, and because it's an extra large, maybe I'm hoping. But the only thing it's counting against me on this is because there's no, I don't think it's cotton. Oh, it's a 95% bamboo, which bamboo fabrics are not cheap, I've noticed. So we'll see how this does. Next guy, $4.99. This is going to be a little bit of a project for someone, but I'm just going to list it cheap and just note it that there's a little spot. But it's 100% silk, black, roll tabs, pop over. Is it a pop over? Yep. So when I say a pop over, especially for like tops and blouses, it's one that doesn't fully button down, where it goes down to like maybe 3/4. But this is frame, size medium. So on here, I don't know if it's just drag wear or something. It's just a little spot right here. I haven't tried to get it out yet. Okay, $4.99. Again, this is on one of the newer racks. Sadly, there is no size tag or material tag. They cut it. The previous person ripped them both out. These look maybe like an extra small. I'm just going to put them as extra small. Otherwise, I might just bring these to Plato's Closet. They're just Vuori. Which maybe let's do that. Note to self, if you're watching this, Al, put this to the side for Plato's Closet. Next guy, $6.99. This I knew what it was right away because I have the men's version of this blazer. So this is a really good Bolo brand. Sadly, this line is a fusion line. So if you see this, always look it up. And if you see this, look it up. So it is, if you're thinking 3 different brands, it is not Tommy Hilfiger. It is not Brooks Brothers, which this designer does have a line from Brooks Brothers called Black Fleece. If you ever see that label, Black Fleece by Brooks Brothers, or just Black Fleece itself, pick it up. That usually sells super fast, especially in the men's pieces. But this is so in collaboration with Neiman Marcus and Target, which kind of lowers the value of it. But size small, and it is Tom Brown. I have sold some mainline Tom Brown pieces for some really, really good money. I had found why am I doing the gesture? But it was like a leather doctor bag. They had it listed at as a Tommy Hilfiger. So that's a little fun fact. If you ever trying to find some brands to like flip yourself off secondhand sites, look up like the obscure brands as what you think a mainline brand would be they put under. Usually I find a lot of my Tom Brown pieces, people listing it as just Tommy Hilfiger because, you know, you associate Tommy Hilfiger with red, white, and blue. Not necessarily Tom Brown because it's not as well known. Or like in this instance, I have found a piece that was sold really fast for me because they put it as Neiman Marcus. But Tom Brown makes a lot of like these kind of pieces like this where they're kind of nautical. If you ever see this bag, I think one of the most iconic pieces I've seen of his is that little Dachshund bag that Kate Spade made a dupe of. So shocker, Kate Spade did not make that bag first. Tom Brown did, I believe. But that bag is like crazy expensive, even on the secondhand market. So that's on my goal list to find myself. Next guy, $8.99. I know this brand is kind of on my no-low list now, but I fear going into fall and winter, and this being kind of a trendier style, and it looks like a newer label. So these wide leg black trousers, and they are, the only reason I got these is because it has the style name. So they're Aritzia, which mainline Aritzia, and they are the effortless pant, and they are size 12. And I don't think there's anything special as far as material. They're just 100% polyester. But if I can't sell these, I know the buy-sell trade stores will take them. So I found that pair, and then I found another pair that's a linen lyocell blend. So again, effortless pants by Aritzia. They're both size 12. So this one, trouser again, a little wide leg. Next piece I gotta decide if I'm keeping or not. It was $3.99. I really can't find much about this brand. I just got it based on style. It kind of reminds me of a couple shirts I already own. But I liked it because it's like this nice green, like moss green, almost cream striped shirt. Feels like a cotton or linen blend. But the brand is Newmarket Goods Bangladesh, maybe? Men's size large. The only thing I can't figure out is materials. Looks like it was cut out. I'm guessing this is probably supposed to be a pajama top. But, you know, the mandarin collar. I still wear my mandarin collars. So, we shall see after I do some digging if I decide to keep it. If not, I'll list it, even if it's for a few dollars. Okay, so the next piece, I'm not going to cheese you guys anymore. This was only $2.99. So I knew what this was just because of this. I know it's very obscure. You know, it's very random, but I thought I knew what it was. I was hoping it was what I thought it was, and I was correct. So this brand is very, 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 very sought after. Good streetwear brand, minimalist brand. I've noticed that it's very hard to read the labels for them. That's probably why I didn't know what it was. Like, if you can read it, you might know. If you know that signature, it's Rick Owens. And this is the limo from FW Fall Winter 2011. The only thing that's working against me for this is two things. I don't know if it's men's or women's. The size and material tag is cut out. So my thought process for this is I'm just going to consign this to the Real. And I know they price this stuff up crazy expensive. Because I don't know if this is supposed to be a men's hoodie, because I know he makes a lot of like long line men's stuff like this, or a women's dress. I'm thinking it's supposed to be a dress because of how skinny it is. So we shall see with that guy. Let me know what you guys think. Have you ever found Rick Owens? I know I have found his shoe collab with Converse. The Dark Shadow is another line of his, which is still crazy expensive as well. They're like the Turbo Run Stars, I think. Those I picked up, I sold those I think I picked them up for $25 at a Plato's, and they end up selling. I got two pairs, So I had one pair for myself. I picked up for 25. The other pair I think was like $20 more too. I got to sell. So the pair I sold, I sold directly. I think they sold the next day for, what was it? I say about like 150, 160. Don't quote me on this. I know it sounds really obscure or braggy, but just with the right keywords, I think what sold them for me. As well as if you watch Schitt's Creek, David wore those shoes a couple times, so I do have one of the books with the fashion of that show, so that can help me pick up some things, and I would put like Schitt's Creek and David Rosen titles and description. That kind of helps it. Next guy, just a pair of cotton, kind of cooler style overalls. They got almost like a straight leg. It's like a straight leg fit. I like how they had the pockets in the front. So these were $6.99. The brand is Lucy and Yak. These are a size small, 30. So Lucy and Yak, size small. With that brand, I've noticed if I put gardening and granola girl in the title, they have sold. Next guy was $3.99. I got it for way less than what they priced it because it does have some flaws on it. So the first thing that this thing was missing is one of the buttons. There's a couple snags. And what's funny enough is they put this in the women's section in like that extra smalls. But it's a kid's sweater. The reason I know what this is because I have a cardigan myself in this brand that's very similar to this. So it is Burberry Children. And it is a size, what is it? 8 youth. So 120 out of 64. Or 100, so 8 youth, so 128 centimeters. And Burberry, so down here, little leather tag. And this one is 98% extra fine merino wool. So this I'm almost tempted to just keeping in my future pile to build up, or just give it to or list it, or send it in, or just give it to my sister for my nephew. But they live in Florida, so I'm not sure if a wool cardigan would really be worth it. Let me know what you guys think. Would you consign this, sell it, or just keep it? I figure I'll list it, and if it doesn't sell, it's mine. Next guy, $5.99. This I got just based more on style. I kind of like the color. There is just a few snags in the back, but 100% silk. This one I'm not sure is it supposed to be a tunic or like a mini dress, but this one is a newer. I think this is a relatively newer label of this brand from the past few years, but it's J. McLaughlin, size 6. I have a hard time selling that brand, but I think material and the style should carry that one. I'll do Coastal. I'll put Coastal. I'll do Martha Stewart, because funny enough, Martha Stewart wears that brand a lot. Next guy was off on a new rack again. This was $8.99, but she gave it to me even less because it was missing the belt, which I don't think that makes a difference for this. So what's nice about this is it has a semi-wide leg. It's a full-length jumpsuit. So I'm going to put this as like a mechanic, boiler suit, work suit, play suit. And it's a plus size, so it's made by Anthropologie. And it's a relatively newer label because it has a by man, which I don't think is new. I think the newest one just says made now, as well as like the Pilcro tag. But it has the style name, the Colette. And it's a size 14. The other thing you can tell if it's a newer Anthropologie piece sometimes is I noticed the newer like Anthro and Free People. If it's a super new tag, they'll have the little size tag in here as well. This was probably within the past few years. But the reason I got this was because of the material too. So it's viscose, linen, and cotton. You know, a good little transitional piece into fall. Next guy, $5.99. This is just an automatic pickup. If it doesn't sell, I'm sure buy-sell trade stores will eat this up. But all I saw was this little blue tag. So it's Spirit Jersey, and it's a Disney Spirit Jersey, but it's Star Wars. And what made me really get this is because it's an extra, extra large, which I never find Spirit Jerseys bigger than a small. So here's partially what the label was saying. So Disney Parks, and then Spirit Jersey. Now, if anyone has really good luck with selling Spirit Jerseys, what brand do you put this under? Would you put this as the main line as Disney or Spirit Jersey? I've noticed on eBay there's a whole category of just Disney clothing, and people just put this as Spirit Jersey, and then a sub brand as Disney as well. They'll cross list it. All right, got two or three more pieces, and then we're done. This one I got just based on style alone, and then I saw the brand, which is kind of good. So it's this corduroy, maroon color, corduroy button-down shirt dress with the 2 patch pockets. This kind of gave me a very cottagecore, prairie wife vibes. And it looks like this might be a newer label for this brand. So it's Kavu, size small. I know they make backpacks and stuff. I don't sell the clothing as much. I got really slowed down in selling their bags. But they're going into this time of year. I just need some inventory to list while I'm away. $3.99. This I got just based on style and the brand. So it's just Pilcro. Or Pilcro on the letterpress, but this now it's just called Pilcro, so it's definitely a newer tag. For Anthropology, size medium. It's like this metallic thread, ruffle, V-neck, blouse, vest, top, tank thingamajig. I can't tell. I can't figure out what kind of design this is supposed to be. And then we know here. So here's how we know it's a new piece, because it has the size tag in here, like I was saying. So medium. And last piece, $6.99. This I grabbed because this brand sold super fast for me last time. It's just an obscure, I don't know if this is like a lagging look brand or minimalist brand, what do you want to say, or art to wear brand. So it's kind of like a brown, green, tan color. Different accent colors. The brand is Krea Concept. Krea Concept, made in Turkey. The last dress I had from them sold really fast for me for like $35-40. And then the very first piece of them I found was a cardigan that was like Mongolian cashmere and alpaca. That sold really fast. I think I listed it, sold within half hour of listing, and I had it on listed for $175. I think I took an offer for like $160, so just show maybe I underpriced it, but I'd rather push it to move. So this is viscose, elastane, and then the other fabric is polyester, and this is size 38. So it's like a mixed material. Slinky. This would be great for layering under a cardigan or that blazer. I think it would look really cute with the sneakers too. So yeah, that is everything I picked up today. I did have some stuff I picked up from Plato's, but that was all for myself. Let me know what you guys think of the haul today. I won't be probably doing any haul videos next week. I'm just going to be going to Florida to enjoy some time with family again. And then the week after that is my birthday. So I'm kind of doing a little birthday trip for myself as well. So if anyone wants to know what I'm doing, my birthday is October 4th. So 10-4, I'm turning the big 33. I know, can you believe that? 33. Yeah, that is about it. Otherwise, let me know what your guys' favorite pieces are. And if you want me to do that real consigned video. Otherwise, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye!